Yes, I am going to record this session. And we covered this on Wednesday. So if you were not in the session on Wednesday, please try and figure out where we currently are. So now, now that we know how the candles or how price action affects the formation of candles, right? We're going to look at different candles that as a result of price action, you're going to understand what do they mean for us, right? What do they mean for us? So my thing will be, I'm gonna try and draw different types of candles, and hopefully you will be able to identify them, right? Hopefully you will be able to identify them, and we are going to be able to figure out like exactly what they mean for us. What the different types of candles mean for us. Okay, who can tell me what type of a candle this is? All you have to do is to type in the chat what type of a candle this is. If you have an idea what type of a candle this is, right? Just type in the chat if you do have an idea what type of a candle this is. Or if you seen it somewhere before, right? It's always the first candle that most people will cover, right? Yep, I'm seeing some answers. This is definitely a doji candle. And simply what a doji candle is, a doji candle simply is telling you that the market is not sure where it wants to go, right? The market is not sure where it wants to go. Now, the reason why I keep saying that you need to understand how price action is contributing to the formation of the candles, this is telling you right here that the buyers, the people who are buying, right, and the sellers have equal strength in the market, right? So the people who are buying and the people who are selling, they have equal strength in the market, right? They have equal strength in the market. So the market is not sure where exactly it wants to go. So one thing about the doji that we need to know is that it opens and closes in the same, right? In the same place. Let me use a different color here. Right, so the doji candle opens and closes in the same place. The other thing about the doji, well, obviously the market is not decided where it wants to go. The market has not decided where it wants to go. This is because the buyers and the sellers, they have equal strength. Now, the beautiful thing about the doji is that if you see it at the end of an uptrend, right? If it occurs at the end of an uptrend, it is signifying for us that the market will be reversing. That's the beautiful thing. If it occurs at the top of an uptrend or at the bottom of a downtrend, right? At the top or at the bottom of a downtrend, it's simply telling you that the market will be reversing. And if you are in a trade at that particular point, now it's up to you to keep an eye, because that trade is going to reverse on you, or you're going to start, losing your money. Anyway, pretty much the same thing. So if occurs, and I always like to use this word at the end. I'm gonna encompass both of them at the same time. It signifies right? So it's telling you that that market is going to be reversing, right? So when you see a doji, you gotta keep an eye on that. And I mean, all these things that we are going to be covering today, you will see them in the Candlestick Bible, right? So if you have not gone through the Candlestick Bible, please do that, and try to at least learn these things, so that you can at least know what is exactly going on, right? Now, the other candle that I'm going to be drawing, right? Who can tell me what type of a candle is this? What type of a candlestick is this? Right? What type of a candlestick is this? You can go ahead and type in the chat if you can identify the type of candlestick this is for us. So I'm seeing some I am seeing some responses. We have the dragonfly doji, bearish, the hammer doji. So this right here, this is the dragonfly doji, right? I will be explaining the difference with all the other mentioned candlesticks that people have mentioned there, the hammer and all that. So this dragonfly doji can either be blue, can either be red, but I am using red here so that I can drive the point home that I'll be giving. So one characteristic, obviously, what you can see is that this candle has a long tail to the downside, and it has a very small body right at the top, and a little to no wick above it. That usually like bothers people. There is little to no wick on the upside, right? That does, sometimes you're gonna see a very small wick up here. Does not mean that it's not gonna be there because I didn't draw it, right? It might be there. So what this is telling us, right? I will keep trying to use the whole concept of price action. The reason why we have a very long week to the downside is because the buyers are pushing the market up. They're trying to force this market to go back up in that direction, right? Market tried to push down, but the buyers in this case are saying, no, you got to keep going up. This is the direction we want the market to go. So the buyers are kind of in control of this market, right? The buyers are in control of this market. So when this, pretty much, this is a bullish candlestick. It opens, closes at the same point, but it has a longer tail to the downside. So do not confuse it with the doji, right? So opens and closes at the same price, but has a long shadow or wick. Let me just use a simpler word. All right. Has a long lower shadow or wick, right? So that's how you're going to identify it. And pretty much it's if you see this, if occurs, because you know the position of these candlesticks is very important, very, very important, because if you see this in the middle of a trend, it's not going to mean the same thing. So if occurs, then you expect a reversal. Right? You are expecting a reversal to the upside when you see this candlestick occurring. Pretty much it's trying to push price back up, right? So that's what you will be expecting when you see it. So these are important to know. At the end of the day, they will be like really, really helpful. Candlestick patterns are simply just that. It's just an easy way for us to try and, you know, figure out the market, right? Now, obviously, and this is important to know, you are not just going to use candlestick reversal patterns without any other type of analysis. You are going to need more analysis to confirm what you are saying about the market, right? Now, who can tell me what candlestick this is? What candlestick is this? It has a long shadow, a long tail, a long wick to the upside. It starts, right? It opens and closes at the same place, right? So which one is this? Right? Which one is this? I'm only seeing one response. Right? This right here, this is the gravestone doji, right? And pretty much it's the reverse of this one, right? It's the reverse of this one at the top. It opens and closes. the same price. Has a long upper shadow all week, right? So it's the opposite. And it's going to mean a lot for us if we see it occurring in an uptrend, right? So if it occurs right? So this is simply saying the sellers are pushing the market down, right? Now, if it occurs in an uptrend, you expect a reversal in that market. And the question is, what happens if it occurs in a downtrend, right? If this occurs in a downtrend, then you are expecting a continuation of the same market. The same thing with this dragonfly doji. If it occurs in an uptrend, the dragonfly doji, then you are expecting a continuation of that market, right? You are expecting a continuation of that market. Same thing with the gravestone doji. If it occurs in a downtrend, you are expecting a continuation of the downtrend, right? So depending with where it's occurring, then it's going to give you different information, right? It's going to give you different information.
Hi, Kevin. You put that note there.
Sorry?
I see you had some notes, very good notes there. Can you put in either of it? If it occurs, it shows the continuation. Probably, I think when we study that will help too. If it's okay.
The space is limiting me, but let me,
right.
I can try and fix it there. Let's see. Let me try and move this around. So it's pretty much just it occurs on an uptrend. Then it's the same thing with this down here. All right. There we go. Yeah. Let me see. I know Karash normally takes the screenshots. He's probably gonna send them in the WhatsApp group later. So at least we have that. So don't worry about missing the notes. They will be available. All right. Then we're going to move on to the next pattern here. So in this case, we'll use red. Kind of looks appropriate. I don't know. Oh God.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
Hi.
How are
If
you?
you're not erased it, can you go back so I can take the screenshot?
Okay. Should be. Oh, I have so many pages. Should be there.
Okay, thank you. Give me 1 second.
You are welcome. Oh. Okay.
1 second, 1 second.
Oh.
All right, thank you. I got it.
You need to be fast.
I know. Thank you.
You are welcome. Let's see if we can move this. I realized that I'm skipping pages. Mm. Okay. I'll just draw this again. That's okay. But you already saw how it looks like. So can anyone like tell me what they think this is? What pattern is this? Can put it a little bit lower. Right. What pattern is this right here? I had already drawn it, so you kind of know. This is one of the most, I don't want to say the most common things that you're going to see all the time, but it is a very common like pattern, right? It is a very common pattern. It kind of shows up almost all the time, right? I can tell Mimi has been reading the Candlestick Bible, which is beautiful. Yeah, this is the morning star, right? So this is the morning star. And obviously, if there's a morning star, then there's an evening star, if not a night star. But the people who are naming these things, had limited words. Yeah, but this is the morning star. One thing, it must always have the 3 candlesticks right there, right? Must always have 3 candlesticks. So it cannot be a morning star if it only has 2. Must have those 3. Consists of 3 candlesticks. Okay. Now, what you have to know, you're coming from a bearish, right? A bearish movement where this candle right here is a little bit bigger than this. This one in the middle is gonna be tiny, right? It's gonna be small. It can either be blue or red, but it's gonna be smaller than this and this. And in most cases, like it can make it look like that. It's gonna be small compared to the bearish one and to the one on the other side, right? Now, if this one here happens to be here, it's gonna be red. So you're not gonna see a small candle in the middle and just assume that this is a morning star. No, you need to have a blue candle, right? You need to have a blue candle that is going up and bigger, obviously, than this small one. And at that point, you have your morning star, and you can make the assumption very easily that this is signifying a what, right? A bullish reversal, right? This is signifying a bullish reversal. So I'm trying to figure a way of writing few words. Let's see if that's possible. So indicates. A bullish reversal. That should suffice. Should make sense, right? It signifies a bullish reversal. So if you see this, let me just clarify, right? Because the location is important. If occurring on a down, someone's gonna see it somewhere else and be like, oh no, no. It has to be on a downtrend. And that's the only time it's going to signify a bullish reversal for you. When it's occurring in a downtrend, right? Otherwise, it's not going to mean much for you. And the opposite of this is obviously the evening star, which is the exact opposite of what we have here. And don't forget, I am drawing candlesticks that do not have wicks. That does not mean that all candles are not going to have wicks. So this is just me being lazy and not drawing the wicks. But candles, in most cases, do have wicks, right? In most cases, candles have wicks. So if you see wicks, don't say, oh, there was no wicks when Kevin drew them. No, they could have wicks. I'm just not drawing them because I'm being lazy. All right. So this right here is obviously the evening star. This is the evening star. It also must have 3 candles. So consists of 3 candlesticks. And it's gonna indicate a bearish, right? So the market is now going from an uptrend to a downtrend. And if you are keen to look at these candles, you're going to realize something. And I'm going to draw it on this other side, right? If occurring on A, if occurring on the on an uptrend. This is where I was saying price action is important. If you combine these 3 right here, if you combine these 3 right here, what are you going to get? Oh, you are going to have something like this. Let me just use the right colors so that people are not confused. Don't want to confuse nobody. You combine those three, this is what you get. So put a mental picture in your head, combine these three candles in your head, right? So if this was 5 minutes candles, turn them into 15 minutes candles in your head, and you're gonna have something like this, right? You're gonna have something like this. And what is this? This is a dragonfly doji, right? So in your head, you know, it's if you know, this is what we were learning last time, where you can combine the candles. You can combine the candles because on a bigger time frame, they have been already combined. In your head, this is what you're looking at. Oh, kind of messed it up here. This should be down here, right? No, yeah, it's in the right place. So in your head, this is what you're looking at. So you already know this is telling you that the market is going up. And obviously this right here is gonna form the opposite. If you combine it in your head, right? I'm gonna take this out. But the morning star and the evening star, that's what they do. Pretty much, this is one really common type of pattern that is easily to see, like in anywhere. You can easily see that anywhere. But these candlestick patterns, if you understand price action, if you understand how they are formed, just in relation to how the price is like affecting the candles themselves, then it makes it way much easier for you, right? Way much easier for you to know what's going on. To know what's going on. Now, this is where people are getting confused before. Try and do that. I did see people getting confused with this before. Now, this right here is not, right? I'm gonna come back here. Is not the same as this, right? Is not the same as this. I understand why people thought they were the same thing, but I'll give the description of it and then it's gonna make some sense, right? So this right here is the hammer pin bar. I saw people calling the dragonfly doji the hammer, and I kind of was expecting it. But this right here, this is the hammer. It's the hammer pin bar. It's, yeah, hammer pin bar. And you can also call it the bullish, one and the same. So it is one and the same. The difference between this and the dragonfly doji is that this right here, it does not open and close at the same place, right? This does not open and close at the same place. No, it opens and closes it's gonna look, sorry. So opens, Now, this I try to figure out like a way to explain it that will be different, but this is the only word that I could get, right? At almost the same point. Almost. That's the only that's the only difference. At almost. I'm going to try and see if we can get examples from the charts, because I know people are going to be like confused after this. I think the keyword being almost. Now, in real essence, right? In real essence, when I'm drawing this dragonfly doji, I should draw something like that. Right? I should draw something like that. Now that's what will be the dragonfly doji. It's the same exact place that it's opening. But for the sake of us seeing what's going on, right? For the sake, that's why I have a relatively bigger body, right? Than it's supposed to be. We'll probably make it smaller like that. Maybe that's gonna help. Same thing with this one. These are gonna be at the same exact point. Open and close at the same exact point. I'm only drawing this, bigger than it should be so that people can see it. So that we can see it. But they're not the same. I mean, they will indicate the same thing. It's a bullish reversal, right? It's a bullish reversal. They signify the same thing. Reason why they have different names is because they do, this one does not open and close at the same point, right? So indicates a bullish reversal, and if occurring in a downtrend, right? If occurring in a downtrend. Right? If occurring in a downtrend, and it's gonna have the opposite of it, which is a shooting star. Same concept. So a shooting star or a bearish pin bar. Right? So it's the same kind of description. It's not the same, right? So I want us to understand that the word almost is the only word that I could figure out, like, that helps. then it obviously indicates a bearish. A bearish reversal. If occurring in a downtrend. Okay. So what I'm going to do, in as much as I would like to give more examples, I'm going to try and go into the charts. Let's see if we can identify some of these candle patterns. We only had we have two left that maybe I'd like to cover, but they are okay. I think we can do those when we are identifying candlestick patterns, right? Like the next time on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I'm gonna finish it up. So let us go into the chart and let us see if we can find examples of these same candles that we are talking about. And yay, this is a good example right here. So let's see if people will be able to identify this one. Okay, should do the other way around. Can everybody see my screen clearly? I would hope so. All right, which candlestick is this? There's a whole bunch of good examples right here. Which candlestick is this? The one pointed in blue. Can everybody see my screen? Yep. Can everybody see my screen? Exactly. Okay. I think we'll do a small letter so that we can fit everything in here. Black is fine. Okay, so that's the dragonfly doji. Now, can you see how this, in comparison to this, right? Do you see the difference between this and this one right here? We can mark this in a different color, maybe red. Right? Do we see the difference between these two? So this one right here and this one right here. Right? So this is a straight line. Like it has no body at all. Maybe that's one thing we should include in the dragonfly doji explanation, right? Has no body, right? But this one has a body, right? So this has no body, this has a body. Right? So we can already tell, or maybe I'm saying that and people have no idea what I'm talking about. Right? So you can already see the difference. That's what I was trying to like show us here. So I made this bigger, right? Has little to no upper shadow. Right? I hope you are seeing the difference. One has no body at all, and this one has some kind of a body. Some kind of a body. But it's still very tiny though. It's not like it's not that big, right? We're going to be looking at these examples. We can clearly see what's happening in this market, right? You can see what's happening in this market. So this is still forming. It is not done. It can keep going up, can keep going down. But I love this. This is Litecoin. It's the best thing we could have looked at. All right. So who can tell me what this right here is? Right, this candlestick pattern right here.
Open and close at the same price.
This one. Right. Let me see some of the responses. Yes, this is the doji. This is the doji candlestick right here. Now, based on everything we are currently seeing in this market, right? This example right here, what do you think is happening in this market right here? Based on everything we are seeing, so many wicks, so many reversal patterns, what do you think is happening in this market? Anyone with an idea what is, what is happening in this market? And pretty much, why are we seeing so many reversal candlesticks occurring in the same area? Right? You can go ahead and type in the chat. I just want to see if people are putting everything into perspective. I want to see if people are putting things into perspective. What do you think is happening in this area? We have so many reversal patterns. What is happening in this area? There's no wrong answers. We are all trying to learn. So don't be afraid to at least give it a try. Don't be afraid to give it a try. We have so many reversal patterns here, reversal candlesticks, right? That is very true. This market is not decided on what it wants, right? This market right here is not decided. So this is where I usually draw my boxes. Why? This is a consolidation. This is a consolidation. The market is moving sideways. It's not really going anywhere. It's moving sideways, right? This market is moving sideways. This market is moving sideways. You can see right there. That's why we have so many reversal patterns in one area. And I keep saying the location of these candles matters a lot, right? If you just see a doji happening like this is a doji. Okay, this is a perfect example of a reversal. This is a doji. If this doji was somewhere like here, where we have this, right? It does not change nothing because this market it's consolidating. But when it occurs at the top, right? When it occurs at the top of an uptrend, so this, let me see if we can capture this uptrend. Right, so this is an uptrend right there. I don't know if people can see that. Right. So this is an a doji occurs at the top of an uptrend. My thing is restarting. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let me share my screen one more time. Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Now, I want us to look at this right here. Which candlestick is this? Right? Which candlestick is this? Can you still hear me? Which candlestick is this? Right here. Right? Only one person has an idea of what candlestick we're looking at. So this right here is the shooting star. And the reason being, it has, the body is not opening and closing at the same place, right? It's not opening and closing at the same place. So this right here is a shooting star. But now again, you have to look at that, at where it's occurring. Yes, it has a small wick at the bottom, right? But has little to no wick. Keep that in mind. So location matters. That's why location of this candlestick matters. Right? So you see this right here. But as long as they're not occurring like in the right place, this market tried to move up, but nothing, right? But there's a whole huge consolidation that comes after. At least we saw that happening right there. This is another example of a big doji, but also this right here, we could take this. Let me see. Right, I want us to put everything into perspective. I want us to put everything into perspective. So that same area. Should have marked it in a different color. Okay, I lost it. Let me go back. I do want us to see this. It has so many, like, this whole area is a consolidation anyway. Probably makes sense if we went to like 6 hours or something, but that's not gonna work. But anyway, if you combine all these candles, that's what I was looking at. We're not able to go to like 6 hours to see it. This is going to be a morning star, right? We should be expecting like a reversal here, but we don't have like 6 hours just have the next thing is the daily, and we're not going to see the same pattern. But learn to combine these things in your head and see what's actually happening. Let's see if we can see more. So as you can see, this is a perfect reversal, right? This is a doji with a very long wick, right? This thing is mostly consolidating. Interesting. But it's giving us examples, which is good. Right? And obviously the things that we just learned today are not the only types of candles. They're not the only types of candles. So at least keep that in mind. Let's go down to a smaller time frame. Let's see if we can see the same thing. So on the 1 hour, things look very different, right? On the 1 hour looks different. At least we have an idea. Okay. So what we are going to do is that next week, we are going to be focusing on candlestick reversal patterns, which I am seeing a whole bunch in here, but we haven't covered them. So on Wednesday, we're going to continue with the same topic, but candlestick reversal patterns, which simply means not just focusing on one candlestick. We're just going to look at candlestick reversal patterns on Wednesday, so that hopefully on next Saturday, we can look at market reversal patterns. Two different things. I hope you understand the distinction, right? Candlestick reversal patterns and market reversal patterns are not the same. So on Wednesday, we're going to finish up on candlestick reversal patterns. And then on Saturday, we are going to get started on market reversal patterns. That being said, is there anyone with